Welcome to week 3 of this marketing module. Our topic for this week is consumer behaviour and market types. And we're going to start off by introducing the ideas of market segmentation and positioning. So let's think about what we're going to try and learn for this week. So by the end of this week, you should be able to do these things. You should be able to define the major steps in this customer-driven marketing strategy. And in our subsequent videos, we're going to look in more detail at the different ways in which we can segment both consumer and business markets. And we're going to explain how companies identify attractive market segments and how they choose which market segments they're going to target. And finally, we're going to look at how companies differentiate and position their products and their services to get that maximum advantage over their competitors. So let's start with that first point of thinking about the major steps in designing a customer-driven marketing strategy. And in order to do that, we're going to first look at a really good example, I think, of how this works in practice at a company that I'm sure we're all familiar with, and that is McDonald's.
In order to make their products relevant to a variety of consumers, companies use target marketing. Marketers identify specific segments of the population and position their products to appeal specifically to that segment. At McDonald's, segmenting is central to their marketing strategy. But the burger giant takes a different approach to segmenting than most companies.
Traditional consumer packaged goods companies, such as Frito-Lay, organize their marketing department by brand. And so you will have a brand manager on Doritos or a brand manager on Lay's, etc., etc. At McDonald's, instead of having a brand manager on Big Mac and a brand manager on French fries, what we have are segment managers. And so at McDonald's, you will find a director of young adults, a director of women, moms, a director of African American consumers, a director of Hispanic consumers, etc. So that structure all by itself puts McDonald's in a position to really maximize targeting marketing efforts.
In order to target markets accurately, McDonald's uses segment insights. Insights are information about consumer behavior that are developed through market research.
We're constantly, every day, all week long, collecting information and data about the different segments that each of our marketing people are responsible for understanding. And what we pull from these segments are insights, pieces of information that help us understand how to describe our products in a way that will be most compelling for the particular segment.
Consumer insights focus on the values, needs, and lifestyle of each segment. Using these insights, each segment team creates a positioning profile for every product. Then their creative team uses these profiles to produce ads targeted to relevant segments, as well as to the general population.
In the case of our Southwest chicken salad, we learned from our consumer intelligence that this salad presented such a cool variety of ingredients that the general market would find that compelling. So if you look at our ads that were targeted to the general market, you'll see the emphasis on the variety of fun things in the Southwest chicken salad.
Hi, can I get a Southwest salad with crispy chicken?
And I want that new thing with the grilled chicken and tortilla strips. You know, it has that real creamy dressing. Oh, and I think some lettuce.
On the other hand, if you look at the African American consumer advertising, we learned from marketing intelligence that the African American consumer is less inclined to consider a salad as a substitute for almost any of the sandwiches we have at McDonald's. And so instead, we needed to develop our message in a way that said to this segment, this is a hearty, filling, interesting, and exciting salad. If you look at our Hispanic consumer segment, the Southwest chicken salad is full of ingredients that resonate with culture and heritage and are compelling ingredients to a Hispanic segment for a whole different reason. The Asian consumers requirement includes variety of taste and tasting new and different things. And so what we presented in our advertising that was targeted to Chinese and Korean Americans was the whole notion of this variety of ingredients and a new, exciting taste.
Target marketing has proven to be very successful for McDonald's. By understanding the various consumer segments and positioning their products to appeal to each segment, McDonald's has been able to increase overall sales.
At McDonald's, there are a couple hundred people who work full-time just keeping the information current and keeping the information coming so that we can use insights to make certain our marketing is compelling and that our marketing efforts do in fact result in business building marketing.
So what we saw there was marketing in action, if you like. We saw how McDonald's, rather than have brand managers, they have market segment managers. These are managers who are responsible for making sure that the company meets the needs of specific groups of people. And we saw that how that translated into providing the right products that those different segments wanted, and then promoting those products differently to different segments according to what interests those different people and what they would most likely respond to. So if we put that back into a logical sequence, what we have is McDonald's first deciding which customers they're going to serve. So they divide the market into segments, and you heard them talking about the market of young women. You heard them talking about the African American market. You heard them talking about the Hispanic market. So they're dividing that market into smaller segments, and then they're deciding which of those segments they want to target with a particular product. So when we saw them talking about that salad product, they weren't trying to target every market segment with that product, but they had identified a number of segments to whom they felt that product would appeal. So they were creating value for those targeted customers by giving them the kind of product that research told them they wanted. And then they differentiated the market offering, didn't they? Although they were offering the same salad to the Hispanic market, to the African American market, and to the Asian market, same product, but they differentiated the promotion according to what would most appeal to that market. And they positioned their product in the market, in the minds of those consumers, so that they could differentiate it, so consumers could differentiate it from the products of competitors. So what can we get from that? Well, for any business, designing a customer-driven marketing strategy starts with deciding which customers are we going to serve, which market segments, and then how can we target those market segments? And then what's our value proposition? How can we differentiate what we're offering to our customers according to the needs of that segment? And how can we position our product in their minds so that they feel that our product, our value proposition, gives them something that competitors' products don't? Okay, so we've understood that process, I hope. In the next video, we're going to move on and we're going to look at the different ways in which businesses can segment their market. So the different variables they can use. Now, there are many, many ways in which businesses segment markets. We're going to look at 4 of the most common ones, but please don't think these are the only ones. So we're going to be looking at how businesses segment their markets by geography, by demography, by psychographic features, and by behavioral variables as well. That's for the next video. For now, there are a few questions for you to answer.